Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, July 30th, tease that Joey Armstrong, the casino mogul with a magnetic charm and a sinister edge, is taking his pursuit of Vanessa McBride to a dangerous new level. On the surface, Joey seems to be the typical charismatic playboy, tailored suits, slick confidence, and a smile that conceals more than it reveals. But Vanessa, caught in the crossfire of deception and desire, isn't simply a victim or a pawn. She started this game with her husband Doug McBride, a desperate man drowning in debt and chasing shadows. Their plan had been simple enough. Vanessa would flirt with Joey, play the long con, and lure him into a false sense of trust. But as weeks pass, the lines blur and emotions begin to tangle with intent. Joey's approach is calculated. He knows Doug owes him, not just money but reputation. Joey orchestrated the loan trap from the beginning, presenting Doug with easy cash at impossible terms. He knew the McBrides were struggling, that Doug was prone to shortcuts and Vanessa was fiercely loyal, but emotionally vulnerable. What Joey hadn't anticipated, or maybe he had, was how easily Vanessa would become entangled, not just physically but emotionally. As he continues to weave his web, taking Vanessa to private dinners, inviting her into his VIP world, Vanessa begins to consider possibilities beyond the crumbling marriage she clings to. Vanessa doesn't make decisions lightly. She's strong-willed and observant. She knows Joey is dangerous. But she's also exhausted from playing the supportive wife to a man who gambled away their security and then dragged her into a scheme that has spiraled out of control. There's a grim understanding in her eyes whenever she meets Joey's gaze. She knows he's the architect of Doug's ruin. She knows he wants her, not just as a trophy, but as a final insult to Doug, a form of domination that goes beyond financial leverage. And still, there's something about Joey that she can't shake. It's not just the allure of power or wealth. It's how he looks at her like she matters. Doug is spiraling. He watches his wife's growing attachment to Joey with a mixture of disbelief and rage. At first, he rationalizes it's part of the plan. Just a performance. But when he sees them together, when he notices how Vanessa starts coming home late, how she avoids eye contact when he asks questions, he begins to unravel. He tries to confront her, but Vanessa is elusive, no longer playing along with his scripts. She tells him the plan is off. That she's thinking about leaving. That maybe the debt isn't the only thing broken. Doug starts to investigate Joey, desperate to find something that can give him leverage. What he uncovers is chilling. Joey has done this before. Women used, men ruined, businesses dismantled. And now Doug sees the pattern. Was never a partner in this game. He was the bait. The moment Doug took the loan, his fate was sealed. Joey used him to open the door to Vanessa, and now that she's inside Joey's world, Doug is just debris. Meanwhile, across the city, another story unfolds in a sleek apartment lit with LED lights and framed travel posters. Andre Richardson, an influential producer known for his taste in models and lavish parties, is trying to make things right with Ashley Morgan. Ashley, his girlfriend, is no stranger to glamour, but she feels increasingly alienated in Andre's world. She watches the women he surrounds himself with: slim, polished, multilingual, women who can casually reference their summer in Capri or their winter in St. Moritz. Ashley, in contrast, feels like a tourist in her own relationship. She finally speaks up. She tells Andre she feels out of place, like she doesn't belong in his orbit. That she's tired of pretending. She doesn't want more champagne nights or penthouse selfies. She wants memories, experiences, something real. She wants Paris, not projections. Andre listens. Or at least he thinks he does. A week later, he surprises Ashley by transforming his entire apartment into a faux Parisian experience: Eiffel Tower replicas, French music, even croissants and café au lait served on a table set to resemble a Parisian terrace. For a moment, he believes he's done something grand, romantic. But Ashley sees through it instantly. The synthetic beauty, the staged elegancy, it only deepens her sense of being misunderstood. She lashes out, not cruelly but honestly. This is what he thinks she wants? A set? A scene? She doesn't want Paris in a box. She wants to feel the rain on Rue Saint-Honoré, get lost in Montmartre, stumble into real bakeries and argue in broken French. She wants authenticity. This version is just another manipulation, another filtered moment. Andre, wounded but beginning to understand, starts to reflect on why he always substitutes real connection with performance. He's never had to be vulnerable. He buys, he builds, he curates. But Ashley is asking him to show up, to be present. To take her somewhere not with money, but with intention. Elsewhere, June's world is beginning to implode. For years, she's buried a secret that has slowly eaten away at the fabric of her soul. That secret now wears the names Tyrell Richardson and Samantha, her children. Children she abandoned. Children who never knew why their mother disappeared, only that one day she was gone and never came back. June reunites with her sister Regina after years of cold silence. It's tense. Regina doesn't smile. She doesn't cry. She just stares, arms crossed, as if guarding a vault full of memories she'd rather forget. But Naomi and Jacob Hawthorne, mutual friends of the sisters, encourage the conversation. It's time. Regina finally tells June why she never forgave her. That photo, two children on a beach, holding ice cream cones, smiling under the sun. That photo has haunted Regina for over a decade. They were her niece and nephew, but they were never hers to keep. When June walked away, the children were left in limbo. Regina tried to step in, tried to claim custody, but it was too late. The adoption agency moved fast, red tape twisted into barbed wire. By the time Regina got close, the children were gone. Names changed. Files sealed. And just like that, Regina lost them too. What hurts most isn't the absence. It's the unknown. Where are they? Are they safe? Do they know they were loved, even in the aftermath of betrayal? Regina has lived with those questions every day. And now, for the first time, there might be an answer. Because Tyrell Richardson and Samantha are coming back. Not as children, but as young adults with questions of their own. Tyrell is sharp, guarded, carrying himself like someone who has learned to survive without help. Samantha is quieter, more observant, but there's a storm inside her eyes. They know their birth mother is back in the picture. They know she has explanations. But will they be enough? As these lives orbit closer, tensions rise. Vanessa stands on the edge of a decision that could shatter her marriage or free her from it. Doug is chasing ghosts, realizing too late that the enemy was never just Joe, it was his own weakness. Andre is confronting the limits of materialism, hoping it's not too late to give Ashley what she truly needs. And June, broken but still standing, must face the two people she hurt most, praying that blood is thick enough to carry forgiveness. The gates are opening. What lies beyond is uncertain, but no one will cross through unchanged. Vanessa McBride finally walks out of the penthouse suite at the Marlin Hotel, her heels echoing down the marble corridor like a countdown to something inevitable. She doesn't look back. Not even once. Her phone buzzes. Doug. Again. 23 missed calls. She silences it. She had rehearsed this moment, thought it would feel empowering or at least decisive, but all she feels is hollow. Joey Armstrong had been waiting for her inside that suite with champagne, satin sheets, and an offer to start over. But Vanessa didn't answer. Not then. Not yet. The problem isn't whether she wants Joey. It's whether she can live with what choosing him means. Her marriage is broken, yes, but not meaningless. There are memories still pulsing under the rubble, late nights, shared secrets, the tiny apartment where they first dreamed of owning a home. Joey, in contrast, represents a future dripping in risk and desire. But also danger. She saw the way his smile twitched when he talked about Doug's debts, the way his hands never trembled, not even when threatening financial annihilation. Doug is unraveling at a dangerous pace. The last time Vanessa saw him, his eyes were red and his knuckles bruised. He'd been in a fight, or maybe just shadowboxing with demons. He said things he didn't mean, or maybe he meant them too much. Accusations. Pleas. Warnings. He's not just losing his wife. He's losing the last thread of dignity he had. Doug tries to reach out to Regina, hoping she might mediate, but she's too consumed by her own reunion. Tyrell Richardson and Samantha walk into the community center like soldiers returning from war. Regina is there to greet them, palms sweaty, eyes wide. They're older than she remembers, taller and sharper. Samantha clutches a manila envelope. Documents, maybe photos. Evidence. Tyrell doesn't hug. He barely speaks. Regina tries to smile, but it feels alien on her face. The first meeting is quiet. Stilted. Regina explains who she is, her failed attempts to reach them, her efforts to keep their memory alive. Samantha listens. Tyrell stares at the floor. June doesn't show up. But she watches from outside, standing behind the tinted windows of her car, heart beating like a hammer. She had planned to go in. She even wrote a letter. But when the moment came, the fear was paralyzing. Not fear of confrontation, fear of confirmation. That they truly don't need her. That maybe they're better off. Naomi Hawthorne, ever the voice of reason, finally calls June out. Naomi finds her the next day and hands her the envelope. Samantha brought photos of the kids growing up, report cards, a picture of Tyrell in a graduation gown, Samantha at her high school play. Naomi doesn't say much. Just, they're not here to punish you. They just want truth. Meanwhile, across town, Ashley Morgan packs a suitcase. This time, it's not symbolic. It's real. She's bought 2 tickets to Paris. She slides one across the table to Andre without a word. You said you wanted to understand. Here's your chance. Andre stares at the ticket for a long moment. The walls around him luxury, image, illusion feels smaller now. Ashley has stripped everything down to the raw truth. Come with me, not because you can afford it, but because you care. She wants dirt under her nails, street music, messy arguments in hotel rooms, not a relationship curated like one of his art installations. Andre takes the ticket. What neither of them knows is that Joey Armstrong has taken notice of Ashley's rising social media profile. Not because he's interested in her romantically, but because she's connected to Andre, and Joey knows Andre is one of the few people in the city who might still have enough pull to block some of Joey's new developments downtown. Joey needs a distraction, a detour. He sends one of his PR liaisons to offer Ashley a brand deal: free clothes, sponsorship, travel perks. All she has to do is post, tag the brands, and attend a launch party. Ashley declines. She sees the strings. Joey makes a call. A week later, a photo of Ashley kissing Andre on the Pont d'Arts appears online, not posted by Ashley, but through a tabloid account with suspiciously clean metadata. Andre suspects Joey instantly. He knows the Casino King has ways of getting what he wants. Joey doesn't care about Ashley. He cares about leverage. Doug, now desperate, crosses another line. He tries to blackmail Joey with confidential banking records he got from a contact in the finance world. It backfires. Within 48 hours, Doug is arrested for data theft. Joey doesn't press charges, but the warning is clear: stay out of my world. Vanessa visits Doug in jail. The cold glass between them is symbolic. She can no longer reach him. He cries for the first time in years. She doesn't. She leaves the visitation center knowing it was goodbye. June finally shows up to a second meeting with Tyrell and Samantha. They sit in silence for what feels like hours. Finally, she speaks. Not excuses. Not justifications. Just raw, jagged truth. She tells them everything. About the addiction, the fear, the moment she walked away and couldn't come back. Samantha listens with a tissue clenched in her hand. Tyrell doesn't blink. When she finishes, she asks for nothing. Not forgiveness. Not understanding. Just the chance to speak. Tyrell says one thing: we'll call you. When we're ready. That night, Regina sits with June on the porch, their first quiet evening together in over a decade. They don't talk about the past. They talk about what's next. Maybe a road trip. Maybe nothing. But there's peace in the not knowing. In Paris, Ashley and Andre wander through a vintage bookstore, hand in hand. No paparazzi. No stage lighting. Just them. Andre buys her a poetry book in French, even though neither of them can translate half of it. It doesn't matter. What matters is that he tries. Back in the city, Vanessa visits Joey one last time. She doesn't bring a bag. She doesn't stay long. She tells him she knows what he is. That she let herself believe he could be more, but she knows better now. Joey doesn't protest. He leans back, sipping whiskey. "You think you're better than me?" he asks. "No," she replies. "But I'm not worse." She leaves. Doug is released on bail, but everything is gone. The house, the business, the marriage. He stands on the curb outside the detention center alone. For the first time in years, he's not thinking about revenge or rescue. He's thinking about starting over. Something quiet. Something real. June receives a text. From Tyrell. "Dinner tomorrow?" The gates they all stood before weren't physical. They were emotional. Psychological. Barriers built from fear, pride, desire, regret. And now that they've stepped through, each one of them is different. Bruised, but honest. Alone, but free. No more games. Just life, in all its uncertain beauty. Tyrell sits alone in a quiet restaurant booth, tapping the edge of his glass, the condensation slowly soaking into the folded napkin beneath it. He checks his phone. No texts. No calls. Just the time ticking by. The door finally opens. June walks in, a little out of breath, like she had to fight herself to step inside. She spots Tyrell and hesitates, but only for a second. She walks over. They don't hug. They don't smile. But they sit. And that, for now, is enough. "I didn't know if you'd come," he says. "I wasn't sure either," she replies. "But thank you for asking." The conversation is slow, gentle. Tyrell asks about her life. Not accusations. Just questions. June answers truthfully. No performances. She admits she still doesn't know how to make it right. Tyrell says, "Just showing up." That's a start. Across the city, Regina helps Samantha set up an art exhibit. Samantha's paintings are raw and emotional, landscapes with silhouettes that look like people searching for something. Regina recognizes the themes but doesn't comment. She just helps place the lighting, makes sure the nameplates are straight. As people enter the gallery, Regina notices Samantha watching the door. "You think she'll come?" Regina asks. "I don't know. I think she wants to." June does come. Quietly. She slips in halfway through, avoids the spotlight. Samantha sees her, and they lock eyes. No tears, just acknowledgement. The art speaks for what words can't. They don't need to rush. They just need time. Meanwhile, Vanessa McBride has started over in a small apartment on the other side of town. No penthouse views. No designer closets. Just space to breathe. She's taken a job at a nonprofit that helps women navigate financial abuse. She never saw herself here, but now she can't imagine being anywhere else. Joey tried to send flowers. She never opened the card. Doug calls once. She answers. They talk for 6 minutes. It's the kindest conversation they've had in months. No blame. Just closure. He tells her he's looking into rehab. She tells him she hopes he actually goes. He thanks her. She wishes him peace. Joey Armstrong's empire begins to fray at the edges. Not collapse, but corrode. Andre, quietly and efficiently, uses his connections to start blocking Joey's property deals. He never makes it public. Never sends threats. Just red tape and slow approvals, all wrapped in the kind of bureaucracy even Joey can't cut through. Joey starts to sense the pressure. He throws more money at campaigns, tries to buy loyalty, but the press begins to shift. A journalist starts poking around his loan history. Anonymous sources mention patterns of manipulation, intimidation. The casino world is fickle, and Joey's shine is fading. Ashley returns from Paris with Andre, glowing in a way she never did before. Not because of the city, but because of how she was seen. Not as an accessory. As a person. She posts one photo from the tripod blurry shot of a laughing Andre pouring wine on a rooftop. No tags. No filters. Just joy. Brands still call. She doesn't answer. Andre begins developing a new project, a documentary series about authenticity in modern relationships. He interviews artists, therapists, even couples who fell apart and rebuilt from the ashes. He asks Ashley to co-produce. She says yes. The community center, where Regina once tried to mend family, becomes a hub for more than just reconciliation. Tyrell volunteers on weekends, helping teens with college applications. Samantha starts a workshop for young artists who can't afford studio space. June sometimes attends the talks, staying in the back, taking notes, listening more than speaking. There is no grand resolution. No final speech. Just forward motion. One evening, as the sun sets behind the city, the characters all find themselves in different places, yet strangely aligned. Vanessa walks through the park with a cup of coffee, stopping to watch a group of children playing tag. She smiles. Andre and Ashley sit in an editing bay, laughing over outtakes. Regina sends an email to a cousin they haven't spoken to in years, starting yet another bridge. Tyrell and Samantha sit on their apartment balcony, arguing over music, but laughing before it turns serious. June lights a candle in her small kitchen and whispers, "Thank you," to no one in particular. The gates were never literal. They were made of pride, pain, and the fear of being known. But each of them, in their own time, found a way to push them open. What lies beyond isn't perfect, but it's real. And finally, that's enough.